Okay, here we are back in the Macher, starting up the second of the campaign cycles. And in this case, we've got the Berlin run going, where Black's already got a huge lead with 50 votes. Yellow's got a significant amount of votes, 15, and a lot of preparation groundwork that might push them up to the 50 as well. The players are able to do their party conferences, and we've had the choices already made. Black had to start, or got the advantage of starting, and actually everyone in order except Yellow picked up an anti-nuclear attitude here because of Green's placement of the anti-nuclear place, as well as the voting that's going across the board there. So that's become kind of a popular position. Yellow is the only thing that hasn't been able to get that, and we'll take care of those and remove the secondaries that have changed. But those counters were all spent, $500 a pop to do that. Now we'll move on into deploying the cabinet. So some ministers were sent out, $500 a pop. Yellow sent one here, and they're going to raise their popularity, bringing it back up to even. And likewise, Green is going to raise their popular appeal and bring it up to a thumbs up, because they've got a lot of cubes there they want to start converting. This means no coalition, no K's showing up yet, which is kind of a disadvantage. I think it's very hard to form one without coming to an agreement beforehand verbally. I think the placement of the card, because it's hidden, kind of precludes the ease of creating that, because everybody's constantly being faced with these prisoner dilemma type situations, as opposed to where you could actually straightforward state, hey, I'm willing to do this. Sure, you could break the deal. It doesn't give any additional assurances, but I feel that one trusts that statement of intent more than, well, than just leaving it up to random, whether or not the person is actually choosing to do that or not. Somebody stating that they're going to do something, even if they violate it, at least they've made some indication to you that, hey, I'm going to do this, and that's one of the reasons I like a little bit of negotiation in a game. All right, so the costs were paid. Red would have really liked to have done one. He had a desire to try to reverse the negative here by 3 spots, but he doesn't have the cash to put his big pieces into play. In fact, he didn't have enough to put anything into play. He only has $400, so he was unable to use one of his ministers or one of his party people. So we go on from there to, I really wish that these cards made sense to me. Unfortunately, my German is just not going to cut it, but this gives a nice sequence of play. I probably should have held out and gotten the American or the English version of this. Okay. No coalitions formed. Now players are allowed to purchase the media, because I'm having to go through the entire rulebook. Now, obviously, I could write my own up, but I haven't done that. Purchasing media, $400 each. People are running a little short on money who haven't gathered a lot. So that's kind of an issue here. And we'll see what that effect is, because there's more uses of money buying all the squares and stuff like that. Red's really kind of falling into a dangerous position, I think. Well, we'll see. And media dominance has allowed a couple people to play around. Black didn't really want to do anything with theirs, I believe. But Red took this one and moved the Labour Party, I guess, the Union's Gewerkschaft into place there, replacing something that didn't help them. And Yellow in particular went and hunted down the atomic power over here and replaced it with a NATO yes. Now, Black's also NATO yes, but it got rid of an advantage Black has over them, and they have the advantage of the 35-hour work week. Okay. Well, that puts us there, and now it's time to go to the opinion polls, and now we have bidding across the different things on those. So some cheap polling was done, some of it not so cheap. Damn it, I can't remember things between one thing and another, and my life's gotten so complicated in other ways that I can't keep track of that either. But I'm trying to figure out what happened. I know that we did polling and movement on just about all of these, and you'll see actually the black, the CDU, who strangely have like no party base anymore because of the scandals, have been playing around a lot with them, but not necessarily to their advantage. For example, here they downgraded yellow, which is the FDP, in favor of the Greens, just because the Greens already have some position there and the FDP doesn't, and they want to try to play that off. They're really beginning to piss yellow off, who's actually one of their natural allies. All right, so that's the opinion polls. And now we go to the regional assessments, and we'll be doing those across all of these. Well, I forgot. Somewhere along the line I'm supposed to put some cubes in, and I don't know where that happened. Before the opinion polls I was supposed to buy cubes. Damn it all. Alright, well I'll do them after because... and it's really trying to cope with the rule book without a good sequence of play in one place that's making this difficult for me. So I pretty much tried to throw the cubes down where they were supposed to be, and now we go to the regional assessment. And trying to page through a photocopied sheet to find the sequence of play is indeed really a pain in the butt, especially when I can't find my damn interest form for my taxes and crap like that at the same time. Anyway, yeah, my whole life is like I deal with my games, right? Total chaos, and I can't find a goddamn thing. Alright, let's keep going here, though. We skipped this one because that's not a regional assessment. That's going to be the actual election. But now we've got to go to each other one and figure out whether or not people are going to trigger things. And green, I believe, will be triggering here. And we'll come back and see what it all works out. So green and red cleaned up here in Saarland. Both of them raising to the maximum votes. You can't go any higher, so they're at kind of this, okay, they're going to split the vote there, whatever. So that is kind of a difficulty as far as I can see it. I don't think anything can win over that other than a coalition. I have to look at the rules and try to figure that out once we get to the election itself. And we can see how that works. Winning a regional election, highest total vote in case of a tie, there are multiple winners. Great. So there'd be multiple winners, just like a coalition victory. 50 is the maximum you can hit. There's that. All right. So now, of course, there are modifications which include the fact of the party platform agreements and the voting share in the region. Well, the voting share we already have. So the biggie there is going to be really how much agreement they have. Their popularity is not going to matter. For the others, people held on to their chips over here in Niedersachsen because they didn't see that they were going to get maximal points. They didn't have the matchups on enough things. Even though only 3 cards are showing there, they were able to get maximal value up to that 50-point bonus. In which case, hey, the extra cubes kind of sucks that they're sitting there, but no real harm to that for now. And in the final one, nobody threw anything. So now we go back here to Berlin, where we're going to hold the election, and we'll count up the points that people have. Notice that nobody threw the extra points in to just try to grab something there. Strange, huh? Well, it doesn't break even. Although yellow was able to get up to the 50-point value, they still didn't have as many matches as black did in terms of they cared about issues. So the multiplier for black was a 4, whereas it was only a 2 for yellow. So even though they get the mandate of 8, there's a slight difference there. 10 times 50 is 500, to 12 times 50 is 600, and those votes translate over. That means that black's going to win this one. Since they have one of these, they're able to move it over here. Let's see what else they get off of this. I believe they did have an absolute majority of the points again. if I can find it, because it's a difference of only the two of them were running in it. So what happens? He also gets 3 regional cards that he can transfer over, and then bases are going to be generated, I guess. Oh, campaign funding is the other thing. Campaign funding is going to be, what, 10 times the income, the election income. So we're going to be getting $5,000 and $6,000. Big money swinging into people's hands in this case because of the Berlin election. So you're seeing red kind of really falling behind, but now green is even beginning to lose some ground. See how this goes. Okay, so we're just at the point before rearranging the board. What's happened is a lot of party base got added for connecting to these values. Black got an addition of 3, red a couple, and other people a little bit. Green then took the big investment in terms of $3,000 pocketing of funds from Flick or whatever. He got hit pretty hard. He lost, I think, 4 party base for it. Very painful, but he needs the cash. Yellow and black are kind of doing well. Yellow did grab $1,000 and he got away with it cheap, safely. Red took only the $500 that you get for free because he was in the last position and it seems safe. We're going to clear the boards. I'll load this one up, but Berlin's gone. It's not. And we're going to have a new opening up, and that will be in Hessen.